let's speak Yonatan Shapira, who is, like I say, the singer and activist. He was also a member of the Gaza flotilla, where he fought for what he thought is right now. How is that when you are a fighter, you are a trained pilot, trained to fight, and now you fight for peace, like you say? What is the difference? How did you come to that decision?
Well, first of all, I will say that I wish I was as smart as Tamar when I was 18 years old. I was so well brainwashed when I was 18, 19 years old. The last thing I was considering is if to go to the army or not. My inside conflict was if I should go to the Air Force or to the Special Commando Forces. I didn't know where will I contribute more to my country and how will I be in the most special unit and excel there and climb up in the commander system. My father was a fighter pilot and squadron commander during the 73 war. So it's a very, very strong Zionist militaristic background. So again, if I had just a glimpse of your wisdom back then, maybe I could do other things today. But life brought me to become a helicopter and a rescue pilot. I flew Black Hawk helicopters, was in the rank of captain in the Israeli Air Force for many years. And things started to change. I will not tell you about the whole process of change, but it was one specific moment. If you want, I can share it with you because it connects also to Raida that is going to speak later from Oasis of Peace, Wahat Salam. It's a small village somewhere on the way between Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And they have this strange thing that they bring Palestinians and Israelis together to meet and to speak and to have dialogue. And I was in the Air Force doing all my special training and stuff like that, but was invited to participate in this dialogue meeting. And we were sitting there in one room, 8 Israeli students in their 20s, 30s, and 8 Palestinian students, same age, from Nablus, most of them, from the West Bank. And the first meeting was kind of an introduction. We had to kind of tell about ourselves to each other. And we were asked to say who we are, what's our name, what do we do, and why are we here, and some big event that affected us lately. And you know how when you make this kind of circle of introduction, you sometimes listen in half ear to the others, but you actually prepare your little speech, so you be cool. And I prepared to say, my name is Yonatan Shapira, I'm a captain and a helicopter pilot in the Israeli Air Force, but I'm for peace, and I'm against the occupation and the settlements, and I'm against the war in Lebanon, I'm against, I'm for peace and love. And the event that affected me was that a few weeks before that, Israeli pilot and navigator flying a F-16 fighter jet, that is one of the gifts that we get for free from the American military industry, bombed the house of Salah Shehadeh in El Burj neighborhood in Gaza. It was the night of the 22nd of July 2002. And 15 people were killed, most of them children. Some are still babies in their mother womb. The house that was a three-floor building became a big hole in the ground. And about 150 people were severely injured, maimed, and burnt all around. It happened in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock. And with the excuse of fighting terrorism. And I used to say that one of the children that died in this attack was the naive Zionist boy that I used to be. Because it's as if you have the last piece of the puzzle coming in and showing you the big picture. And in that moment, even though I never participated in an attack like that, I was flying people to hospital, after even suicide attack, different battlefields in Gaza, West Bank, Lebanon. I never had to pull the trigger against anyone, but nevertheless I felt that as if I was sitting there in that plane and bombing these children. And I think in that moment, and there are many other moments, it's not a change, a transition that someone go like that is not one event, but in that specific moment, I think I realized that I am a member of a terror organization. And it's almost like you want to vomit this realization out of yourself because it's coming against everything that you were educated and brought up with. And that moment was super strong, and I plan to tell this story to everyone there in that room, in Neve Shalom, Wahat Salam, in this meeting with Israeli Palestinians students. And I just couldn't bring myself to say the word pilot. I was just so ashamed, and I was so, like something that I used to be proud of. You know, I was proud to be pilot, even proud to be modest and not say that I'm a pilot. I was proud of it. Something like that suddenly became a source of shame that goes into all the places in your body and your soul. And I just had to hide this part. Nevertheless, I had to continue and present myself to everyone. But with this little part that I took out, I just couldn't tell them that I am part of the Israeli Air Force because I felt that this is the most disgusting thing in that room, where the guy that was sitting next to me was telling how his young sister just got shot and maimed. So that was a beginning of a long process, and I will not tell you too much more, but several months after, we organized a group of 27 Air Force pilots. The highest rank was Brigadier General, a fighter pilot in the Air Force, and the lowest rank were me and some of my colleagues from my squadron and other squadrons. And we put a letter on the desk of the Air Force commander saying that we are no longer willing to participate in these kinds of crimes against innocent people. And that was the beginning of a different life that I didn't expect to live, but that brought me eventually to help fund Combatants for Peace and eventually participate in different flotillas to try to break the blockade on Gaza, and also to be part of the boycott movement, which I see as the most even patriotic thing I can do. Participate in the movement to boycott my own country is the greatest act of love that I can do in order to save both my own people and my family and my community and the Palestinian people that live with me, next to me, under my boot. I hope I didn't take too much time. Thank you.
Yes, one thing you mentioned in your video message is that you were called a traitor by the people, by the Israeli military when they took you from the Gaza ship.
Yeah.
And that you didn't feel like a traitor, but still it's a reproach that can be a problem, I think, for people who are acting like you do, or like you do, being a traitor against one's own people. And even maybe on the Palestinian side, it's not so easy to go and meet Israeli people, and other people on Palestinian side might say, why are you going there? So maybe you can say something about that feeling and how you cope with it.
I think that was the most difficult thing about refusing, the fact that I got to my private contact on Facebook messages that in Hebrew from people from Israel that wrote me terrible things. They wished me death and cancer and it was really terrible. The feeling that people from my society calling me a traitor or wishing me bad things. But I think that the feeling of I'm doing the right thing, I'm choosing the right way of my conscience and going through with it was much stronger than that, the feeling that it was difficult. I cannot say it was easy, but the feeling of not being part of big part of the Israeli society was difficult. But I think it was worth it.
I think we were all raised and taught that there are no good Israelis and there are no good Jews. But being here makes me understand that, yes, we can find common grounds. And there is Israelis who are also good friends of ours. So me sitting here, I can honestly say, and I'm proud to say that, yes, I can be friends with Tamar, and yes, I can be friends with Yonatan. For me, and also like in the Palestinian community, it's really hard for me to say, yes, I do go out with my Israeli friends. Because like she said, I'm also, for them, I could be a traitor. And for them, that I am not being a good Palestinian. And that I should never, ever talk to an Israeli, and I should never talk to a Jew. But sometimes, like Tamar said, I'm just doing what I feel, what's right. Yeah.
I think when you follow your heart and you really believe in what you do, it doesn't matter. They can call you any name possible. And I remember the moment that I was sitting in front of the commander of the Air Force. It was actually almost today, 16 years ago. We put that letter of refusal on the Rosh Hashanah, the new Jewish year, in 2003. And we had like 10 days to regret somehow, like the days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, the atonement day. And then in the eve of Yom Kippur, just a few hours before, like Jewish families are going to the synagogue and start the fast and everything, I had in the morning the meeting with the general, the commander of the Air Force, a war criminal that is responsible of many deaths and a lot of blood. I remember him sitting in front of me with the Israeli flag in one side and the military and the Air Force flag on the other side on his big desk with his big ranks. And under his arm, he put this popular newspaper with the pictures of victims from one of the Palestinian suicide attacks that happened just a few days before, feeling that he's defending Israel and I am the traitor. But nevertheless, I felt that the whole humanity is on my side. And even if this guy is going to try to put me in jail or call me a traitor or whatever, the whole humanity and the whole history of human being struggle to be free and to be equal and to have dignity and normal basic human right is on my side. So that gives you energy and the ability to cope with anything that people will tell you. And yeah, we lose some friends. And some people, even if in my own family, will not want me to see their children fearing that they will be infected by this disease of human right and equality. But I gain so many more friends. I gain so much more understanding about the world I live in. And it's an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process when you become aware of your part in some system. It's a call for becoming aware of all the other things, like just realizing that I am a man I'm a white man, but have so many more privilege over a woman, or maybe a not white man in Europe or in where I'm from. Starting to realize our unique spot in this world was the biggest gift that I got from doing this transition, and I would never regret it. The only thing I regret is that I didn't do it as early as you.